All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to explore the original Quranic meanings of two of the most important concepts you can think of: Islam, which is the act of granting peace, and Iman, the act of granting security. And what we're going to find is that their core message is all about tangible, real-world actions that build a better society, not just some private internal belief.
But let's start with a really tough question, a paradox. The words Islam and Iman are literally built on the ideas of peace and security. So why is it that we so often see the exact opposite, conflict and fear, in societies that identify with these very terms? This is the central question we're tackling today.
So, where does this disconnect come from? Well, the research we're looking at today suggests the answer isn't in politics or history, but in language. The idea is that over time, the real, practical meanings of these words, to actually grant peace and to grant security, got twisted.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The whole misunderstanding seems to boil down to a tiny but incredibly powerful shift in Arabic grammar. The analysis we're exploring today, which is based on the work of Dr. Khaled Al-Sayed Hassan, argues that a single letter changes everything. It turns an internal feeling into an external action.
So take a look at this. On the left, you've got the verb amina. This means he felt secure. Simple enough, right? The action stays with the person. But watch what happens when you add that little hamza sound at the beginning. It becomes amana. Now, the action goes outwards. It doesn't mean he felt secure anymore. It means he granted security to somebody else. It's a total shift from an inner state to an outer action. And this isn't just a random theory. It's a fundamental rule of Arabic grammar. Adding that hamza literally transfers the action. So amina is about receiving security, but amana, the very root of the word iman, is all about giving it. And this isn't some obscure detail we're talking about. This active, security-granting verb shows up a whopping 536 times in the Quran. That frequency alone tells you that this meaning has to be absolutely central to the whole message.
So the theory is solid. Iman is really about granting security to others. But where's the proof in the Quran itself? Okay, let's look at the verses and see how this idea holds up.
Well, here in Surah Quraysh, the meaning is crystal clear. You can't really argue with it. God is described as the one who fed the people and, right there in the text, amanahum, he made them secure from fear. The action is obviously directed outwards. It's all about the safety they were given.
And this concept is so foundational that it's actually one of the names of God, al-Mu'min, which means the grantor of security. So by definition, a mu'min, someone who has iman, is a person who tries to embody that quality. They are meant to be a source of safety for other people.
You see this idea reinforced all over the Quran, where iman is constantly set up as the direct opposite of causing harm. Take the story of Dhul Qarnayn. The choice he has isn't between a believer and a non-believer. No, it's between an oppressor and someone who grants security, amana, and does good. The Quran even calls out people who claim to be mu'min, asking them, how can you be grantors of security if you're also killers? The logic is just so simple. You cannot be a source of safety and a source of violence at the same time. It doesn't work. And this leads us to a pretty radical conclusion. If a mu'min is someone who grants security, then their exact opposite isn't a disbeliever in the way we usually think about it. Their opposite is a zalim, an oppressor, someone who creates injustice and fear. This completely changes the moral landscape.
And here's why that matters so much. The argument goes that throughout the Quran's stories, ancient societies weren't brought down because of their theology or because they had the wrong creed. They were destroyed because of their dhulm, their oppression, and their injustice. This slide just lays it out in black and white. The Quran draws a really clear line. You have the mu'min, the grantors of security, who are promised reward. And then you have the zalim, the oppressors, who face destruction. The judgment is all about social action. And the text even gives specific examples. The people of Noah, of Shu'aib, Pharaoh, Lot, and Salih. They are all explicitly described as being punished for being zalimin, oppressors. The common thread that connects all of them isn't some specific incorrect belief, it's their unjust actions. So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? The analysis points to one really powerful conclusion. The Quran's main focus is on tangible actions that create a safe, just society, not on internal, private beliefs. And this might be the most shocking piece of evidence of all.
The Arabic word for creed or dogma, al-Aqidah, which became a cornerstone of later theology, is completely, totally absent from the Quran. It's not there, not once. Instead, time and time again, the scripture points back to one's deeds.
And this verse just spells it out. Paradise is inherited not for what you used to believe, but for ta'malun, for what you used to do. It's presented as a direct result of your actions in the world. So, we end up right back where we started, but now we're looking through a totally new lens. This whole linguistic journey leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. What is the true foundation of a just society? Is it a shared, private dogma that nobody can see? Or is it the tangible, observable peace and security that people grant to one another through their actions? Definitely something to think about.